to a recording. All right, I'm dotting the I's and crossing the T's. And in about one more minute, we're going to make it do what it do. Yeah. By the way, today we're having higher level teachings. Topic seems basic, but you know how we do. So always more to it. It's just harder to put in what we actually do or going to do into a one-line caption. But you are here, and we will all experience it together. Okay. Let's rock and roll. As we move forward, as more people hop on, just continue to let them in for me, brother, because I am going to be in the zone. All right, guys, welcome to Spiritual Sunday. Today, we're going to talk about breath and the meditation aspect of it. And also, we're going to introduce in light centers. Like, how do we make our light brighter? So with our group, our main goal is to shed light, positivity into the world. And once a month, we do that. On the first Sunday of the month, we all get together and just that group energy, meditating and adding light feels great. And I always have like a constant buzz going the week we do the group meditations. So today, what I figured we'd do, if we're putting light into the world every first Sunday, well, maybe we should take a look at how can we make our own internal light shine brighter, shine bigger, shine better, go further. And that's what we're going to pop off today. So here's the thought process. What I want to do is I'm going to talk and have lessons. And then in between, we're going to have a physical, spiritual experience. Okay? So I'm going to talk lessons, and then in between, we're going to have a physical, spiritual experience. And then at the end, we're going to pull this all together. You guys with me? There's only 6 of y'all. Why are you on mute? It's only 6. Are you afraid you're going to disturb the other foe? Oh, God. Matt, it's like I'm talking to myself. Hello? Spirit? Ain't nobody up in this piece. All right, that's fine.
My husband and dog are making a lot of racket back here, but I'll let you listen if you want to.
It's all good. Okay, here we go. Let me start sharing my screen. Oh, before I do that, is there anybody here that today is the first time that you have been here? Matt, give us a shout out, man. Tell us about yourself, who you are, spiritual background. What made you want to join the one today? So I can make sure I can talk about what you want to talk about.
Okay. Well, my name is Matt. Been on my spiritual journey since around 2013, 2014, somewhere around there. What made me join? It was really just my intuition. Someone just told me to, hop on Meetup, start looking for some meditation groups. I came across your group and a couple others, and, the guy just told me, hey, sign up and, start going to some of these classes, and not really sure what I'm going to learn, but, I'm just following my intuition and just kind of going with the flow.
I feel that. Those guys, they're a good one. They refer a lot of people to us.
Those are your main referrals right there, huh?
Main referrals, those guys. All right, cool. Well, Matt, welcome, man. We're glad you're here. And, feel at home, brother. It's your home.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else? I think that's it. Okay, cool. So let's jump in. All right. So let me share this. Now we're rock and roll. All right, how to do breath meditation with breath spelled wrong. Where are you now? Okay, so I think everybody on here may be familiar with the chakras. I'm going to go over them, but we're going to take a look at them at a different level and how to have that light shine brighter in them. And the breath meditations that we do today are going to focus on 1, 7, and 1, 7, and 8. That's right. 8, like 8. Where's 8? I don't synced it. Well, guess what? We're going to talk about that too. And we're going to dive in terms of what does 8 do? Because it's more than just 7. There's a lot. There are a lot. And this is preparing for, what we're going to do next year. Well, next year, each month, we're going to focus on a different one. And based on that one, we're going to get our breathing on. So look, if I was talking to Matt and I said, Matt, how do you feel? Matt may give me one answer. And then I say, Matt, how do you feel today? Matt may give me a different type of answer. Matt, how do you feel this week? There you go with another answer in general. Matt, how do you feel this year? Whoa, we may get hit up with another answer. How do you feel this life? That's another answer. So the same thing for chakra. Somebody might be spiritually snobby, myself. Chakras? Huh, I know what a chakra is. I've been a chakra expert since I was 2. So you may be Johnny on the point, Johnny on the spot when it comes to the chakras in terms of knowing what they are, but your chakras are still jacked up. Okay? You may be able to have overall, okay, I got one imbalance, but today my balance is off because somebody on the job is coming after me. They're coming after me and I don't feel so solid. You may feel like number 2. Okay, normally I'm a balanced person. I'm spiritual. I know all that. I got the down pat and the mudras and the budras and the tudras and everything. I'm good to go. But at the same time, you had to let somebody go. You had to cut somebody low. And now you're feeling a little guilt. The guilt is starting to hit you off right in your stomach, in your gut, deep down below where we don't want to go. So that's what's up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot.
Still and be quiet.
And then after that, I'm going to switch it up and make it so that we're going to breathe through these. All right. We're going to breathe through. So number 1, the root chakra. So by the way, a chakra is just a light center. Oh, cutie. I want a hat like that. That like he has on. I want one of them. So yeah, they're cute. He got it going on, man. So number 1, the root chakra, the light center. It's kind of like, if you, I don't know how else to say it, Michelle, I know you're gonna laugh at me. When you gotta pee and you don't want to pee, you can't pee, you better not pee yet because you're gonna look bad. You pee on yourself. And that thing that makes you stop it, like that muscle that makes you stop it, that's the root. I couldn't think of a better way to describe it. It's just uncomfortable in general. Y'all know you don't want nobody talking about something down here. It's just hard to bring up. That's the best I could do. So the root chakra, that light area, how I would describe the chakras is it's your spiritual body. Just like you got a physical body, you got your arm, an ear, nose. The chakras are like your spiritual body, the combination of it all. Where is that? Oh, here we go. It's right here. So let's see if you can see this. So you got your physical body, right? But then if you took away your physical body, boom, you have nothing but light. That's you. That's what you really look like. You want to call somebody cute, like, oh my God, you're just beautiful. Look at your light. You want to be like, oh, you got the prettiest eyes. You got the period root chakra up here, sir. Look up here. That's the real you. So number 1 is dealing with survival. Survival. It's normally the color of red. And the chakra isn't like just a dot. It's like a funnel. If you're in cells, it's like the cells funnel. And they squish and they go. And a lot of people don't know that because they used to see it in this flat 1D picture. And don't realize, oh my God, this is 3D leading to 5D. They go left, right, left, right, left, right. And when they're out of balance, oh my God, it's wobbly. It's like, it's just all off, all off. And as you start tapping into number 6, that light center, you're able to see people's chakras. I have a BMI machine on my laptop. And when I'm meeting with people, I'm able to do a screenshot of their picture, shoot it through my BMI machine, shows all about people's chakras and energy. And I'm like, I thought this person was jacked up. Now I know. And look at this. Okay, right here. And that helps me to, I know I'm crazy. It helps me to work with them. So one, when you breathe, okay? And what I want to do now is I want you to, let's pause and focus for a minute, okay? Because this area right here, the survival, fear is what collects in this. Fear is the area that affects this chakra the most. So if you have fear, like, I don't know if this is going to work out. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, what's going to happen? Is this going to work out? All of that doubt is fear. And it's nothing about just going over again and again. Repetition builds belief. The repetition of you seeing how things could go wrong. But you can flip the script and start focusing and seeing in your mind's eye how things could go right. Repetition builds belief. It's that simple. If you got nervous stage fright, I spoke in front of big audiences. I spoke in front of smaller. I spoke in front of my in-laws. Sir, I want to ask for Lori's hand in marriage. No, he didn't say. He didn't say no like that. He thought it though. He thought it. But we all going to have our times when we get nervous. But if you start looking at and envisioning it going right, instead of focusing on how it can go wrong, then that starts to release this fear. It starts to empower this particular light center. The color red is something else. So if you have somebody that is already self-centered, already in, I'm going to cut you low, it's me to me or you, they're already in that survival mode, and then they're wearing red that day too, that's too much red. That's too much. People dress to be cute. You got to dress to be effective. That's too much red. And you're wondering why you're getting on everybody's nerves that day. You already had a lot of survival going on. Now you're going to amplify that. So looking at this, all right, and understanding when you're off balance, sound, that's something else to balance it, right? The piano, we listen to the chords of the piano. Each one of these light centers can be balanced based on color, based on sound, based on feeling, based on smell. All of this affects it. I have aromatherapy up in here. Depending on what I need, I'm busting out different things. Okay, depending on the colors, depending on everything. This is how you can live well-rounded and balanced. So right now, you guys know what's up with one. Now let's feel it. Let's have that physical experience. So sit in your chair. Just get in a comfortable position. Okay. And that muscle that you use to cut things on and cut things off down at the root. Okay. You can close your eyes and become conscious or aware of that. And you may flex that muscle a little bit. Now, just relax. And just inhale deeply one time and exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. One more time. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Now just breathe normal. And as you breathe normal, bring your focus to that root chakra area. I want you to use your imagination, and on your next breath, inhale as if you're inhaling and light and air is coming through that root chakra. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. And when you exhale, feel like the air is coming directly out of that root chakra. Start there again, that light center. Inhale through your nose. Exhale. And keep doing that. And keeping your consciousness on that particular area, and having the air come in and out. And feel it relax. You may even begin to hear it. Click, 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 as it goes back and forth. You may feel it. There you go. Okay. Now, open your eyes. Come back with me. Rub your hands together. Get you grounded. All right, here we go. So that was the first light center. All right. We're going to come back and we're going to pull that together. Next, I want you to look at number 4. Number 4. So number 4 right here, we have deals with love. It deals with love. Okay. And there are different things that you can do to help with this one. Just like number 1, the heart chakra. It's almost like you have 2 hearts. You have your physical heart, right? Which is, it's not like in the center. It's on your left-hand side, it's a little lower, and then boom, that's your heart. People like Fred Sanford, like, oh, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you. Like, Fred, your heart's on the other side. Remember Sanford and Son? Me? I'm the only old one. Okay. Fred Fox was the ball. So you have your physical heart that's like right here. But then you have your spiritual heart, which is right here. When I tell people, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, and then point to yourself. When I say 1, 2, 3, some people go like this. They're pointing to their heart. Or they go like this, right? And they're pointing to their 6th light center, really. So, but this is where your spiritual heart is. And that deals with love. And as you see, it also deals with grief. When somebody gets their heart broken, that pain you get in your chest, right? That anguish, it's like, oh, yeah, that's where it is. So, but, you know, there's certain things called mudras, all right? Mudras. And I wanted to bring this up because I haven't heard people really combining these and showing people what to do. So when we breathe this time through the heart, right? You can take your right hand, okay? And it's like I was in a black fraternity. Well, I guess I still am. Once you're in, you're in. I was in a black fraternity when we were the Sigmas. Ours is like that. And then it's another fraternity that's like that. So for any Kappas out there, I mean, no offense, Greek brothers, but this is actually came up before y'all were founded. All right, the heart chakras. Here you're taking your index finger and your thumb and you're putting it together. And on a, as you see right here, right? Your right hand, index finger and thumb touching at the heart center. Left hand in the same mudra resting on the knee. So you got boom, and you got boom, and you got boom. Okay. You're putting right hand, all right, over your heart center, and then you're taking your left and you're putting it on your lap. Okay. All right. So when you see Buddha, I was looking around, I don't have any in here. When you see Buddha sitting in a certain stance using these different mudras, you'll know what's going on. So now, with, I don't know if you guys can see me, I got this on my heart, right? I have this resting on my leg. Now close your eyes. Focus on the center of your chest. Inhale and breathe air directly through your chest. And exhale through your mouth. Feeling the air go directly through your chest. Just repeat. Now allow your awareness to expand as you continue to breathe. Breathing in through your heart and exhaling air through your heart. Allow your imagination and trust your imagination that is happening. Now, your next inhale, when you inhale, imagine that a light in your heart is almost like a pulse. It gets bigger. When you exhale, it shrinks down. So it's like inhale, exhale, say whoo, whoosh, whoo, whoosh. Okay, now open your eyes, rub your hands together. You get grounded right back. And then there you go. Okay, so heart chakra. The bigger your heart, the more things you can do. The bigger your superpowers are. The more people can feel you when you go through the room or you get in Zoom or just in general. It's like we all have this aura. And your heart is kind of like the engine that connects with everything. So what I want us to do now is we're going to pull 1 and 4 together, okay? We'll pull 1 and 4 together. So get in a comfortable seat, all right? And what I want you to do is take your left hand and put it in like what you had before, all right? Take your right hand, okay? And take your right hand and put at your heart. Take your left hand and put in your lap by your root chakra. Okay? Right hand, boom. Left hand, boom. Now, close your eyes and smile because there's no stress here. And now I want you to inhale deeply 1 time and exhale. Inhale again. Exhale through your mouth. All right, now just relax and breathe regular. Now I want you to put your attention on your root chakra. And on your next inhale, inhale through your root chakra and exhale through your root chakra. Okay, now I want you to focus on your heart, that middle light center where your right hand is. And on your next breath, inhale through there and exhale. Exhale directly through that heart light center. Okay, now keeping your hands where they are, right hand right over your heart, left hand right at that first light center. Focus on both of them at the same time. And inhale, imagine the air going through both at the same time. And then exhale with air out both at the same time. Both at the same time. Now, as you inhale, imagine a light coming from both, getting bigger, and then getting smaller on the exhale. Like a span, shrink. Now just breathe normal, continuing to focus on both those areas. Letting the light from your heart and your root, letting them shine equally as bright as they want. Remember to continue to breathe. Now harmonize the light. Harmonize the light. And whatever your first instinct was when you heard me say, harmonize the lights. Do it. You may want them to shine equally. You may envision the two begin to circle in a pattern as you try to keep them balanced and focused. One may shine light down on the other, giving it power. Just breathe into both. Relax and enjoy it. You may even smile. Fully accept and embrace the joy. The joy of synchronizing and harmonizing your breathing in these two light centers. Now, continuing to focus on both, focus on the root chakra a little more. And as you inhale, try to bring the light up to your heart. And as you exhale, have that light go down to your root. Now, sit in that. And that's your first light center and your fourth light center. Go back and forth, loving and empowering each other. Feel the pull. Feel the pull of the sixth light center as it requests light and love too. Now, open your eyes, rub your hands together, come back to us. All right, how'd that feel? Starting to harmonize. And that can mean anything to you. Whatever your first instinct, allow that to happen. Okay, so when I started to do it, because I was doing it with you all, when I started to do it, I felt like here, it's like almost like there was light that was starting to be asked or pulled. It's hard for me to put in the words asked. It's like this was asking that to come up to, can I come to this party too? It was kind of like that. And that's why I said that. But we haven't gone over that yet. So we're going to go over that now. So the sixth light center, some people call it the third eye. Some people call it the sixth chakra. And over here, you have the hand signs that go with that too as well. So I wanted to give you all different looks and even the color, right? You're looking at more like a purple, more closer to a lavender in some cases. And that six is dealing with like a spiritual vision for you to be able to see when your intuition tells you to go left, when you should go right. People who are mediums, who are psychics, clairvoyant, the clairs, right? All of that's being tapped in to right here. And it's blocked by illusion. So what does that mean? The thought, the belief that you are not as big as you are. That's what they mean here, blocked by illusion. Coming from a Christian background, we were taught to be humble, at least, in the churches I went to, that you did not want to be too big, have your ego too much. Even when it comes to money, right? The lessons that Yeshua, Jesus, taught were, I think, kind of misinterpreted too. And I think as mankind has evolved, we needed certain lessons back in the day that we already learned. So you hear about Jesus saying it's easier for a rich to get through a camel to get through an eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. All right, that was one example. Another was there was this lady who gave maybe like 2 cents, but it was all she had. And then the rich person was like a billionaire, and he gave like $30, and he was giving more credit to the lady. So all of those things got to the point of making a lot of people think, well, in order for you to truly be enlightened, you got to be broke. I don't want that kind of enlightenment. I'm just saying, and maybe it's just me. And I think it was misinterpreted. So here's the deal. Back in the day, especially when Jesus was around, and to some extent, you see it here too. Now, people would do things for show. Like, I'm going to dedicate this because I'm a great human being. Everybody look at me, give this poor person $1. Here, poor person. Like they're announcing it to everybody, right? Versus doing it the right way. So now people are like, oh, if you do something, you got to hide it. You got to put it underneath. You can't tell nobody. Well, yeah, that's not really what Jesus meant. And that's the problem with Yeshua's lessons and how people interpret it, that they don't really get the intent behind it. Because if you believe in a devil, well, the devil advertises every night at 6 p.m. on the news. I was like, ain't nothing good happened in my city today. Nothing. Nobody said, hi, I love you. Just shot. 5 people shot and set on fire. Like, oh my goodness, what block is that? I'm not going to that block. Like something good has to happen. So if you're doing things for encouragement, have you ever heard about someone helping someone else and it motivated you? Wow, I could do that too. Well, that's good intent behind that. So when it comes to this insight and illusion, I share a story that I shared last week, and it was in a business setting. But I can share it here in a spiritual setting too. There was these 2 boys that were on this tree, and they were fighting over who could climb the tree the fastest. And this man walked up and said, what are you guys doing? I said, well, we're fighting over who can climb the tree the fastest. And the man said to the little boys, just asked a question, who do you think made the tree? And then the man walked on, and the little boys were like, wow. Then they started fighting over who they thought made the tree. And that's kind of like how mankind is. Someone comes and raises our consciousness. And then when it gets raised, being humans, yeah, we messed that all up. It's like, okay, now we're going to fight about this. So back then, Yeshua raised the global consciousness of the planet by saying, you got to be nice to your enemies. What you talking about, Willis? Be nice to my enemies. That raised the consciousness to do things and not be braggadocious. Okay, yeah. Well, we learned that lesson now. So you don't have to hold on tight to that. Now you don't get stuck in, oh, look at that. They helped somebody and told others about it. Oh, they're not going to get any blessings. That's a lot. Like the blessings fairy is going to pop out and mess up. No, you haven't helped nobody. Why are you talking about them? It's like the taters, that family of taters, right? You got spectator. Spectator is the one that's looking at everybody. Look what they did. Look what they're doing, right? And then you have hesitator. It's like they never, ever actually do it. I'm going to get around to meditating. They just hesitated. And then you got amplitator. That sucker going around cutting everybody low. Oh, look at her. She thinks she's all that good. Then you got dictator. They want to boss everybody around, but they're not listening to anybody when they tell them what they need to do. They tell everybody, but they ain't listening to nobody. All them taters. I don't like them taters. And all of that comes down to this, is that we got to let our light shine. You got to be encouragement. When people think that bad things only are going on in the world, that's an illusion. I'm happy. And by the way, I made more money last year than I did the year before, and the year before, and the year before. People need to know there's prosperity out there. There's joy out there. I'm not ashamed to say during 2020, I was killing it. Killing it in 2021 too. And 2022 is going to be even better. But when you're saying it from your heart, just like when someone is criticizing you, you know when somebody's criticizing you and they're trying to push you down. And you know when someone was criticizing you and they're trying to lift you up. You know the same thing about when people are talking about what they do. You just feel it. You just know it. So set the intention right. And then let your insight take things away. So let's breathe into that. Let's try and exercise with that. So let's close our eyes. Okay, and take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. I'm going to do it 3 times total. Once more, inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. One last time. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Okay. Now, if you're breathing normally, normal breathing. Focus on that area in your forehead, maybe between your eyebrows. And on the next inhale, inhale as if air is coming through that particular area. And feel the air coming in. And then when you exhale, release the air out. Let's do that 3 times. One more. Inhale through that area. And exhale through that area. Inhale. Exhale. Now continue your breathing. And each time inhale through that area. And exhale. Now, as you continue this breathing pattern, tell the muscles in your forehead and around to relax, to release on every exhale. Now, on your next inhale, imagine you're inhaling a beam of light that comes in. When you exhale, beam of light goes out the front of your forehead. And as you do it, that beam of light goes further and further. And notice, how does that beam of light move? Is it straight? Does it curve? Do you hear a sound? Does it have a color? Now, allow that beam of light to spread as you inhale and exhale. Allow it to spread horizontally to your left and right. Feel it. See more. Feel your sight. Smell your sight. Taste your sight. All through the 6th area. And now that you're tapped in to your 6th light center, what do you need to do? From your 6 light center, let the answer come back to you. What do you need to do? Now, what do you want to do? First answer is the right answer. Now, what can you do? When the answer comes back to you, what can you do? And from that 6 light center, that thought, focus on that. Shine the light on that thought. What can I do? Whatever that was. And allow your sight to show you how, show you when, show you where, show you why, show you what. As you continue to breathe, breathe light to sight. Okay. Open your eyes. Rub your hands together. Come back to us. Come back to us. Get grounded. Good job. All right. So I didn't want to stop that, to be honest, but I got a program I'm running here. But you all are free to do this every day, once an hour. How grounded would you be if you did this breathing meditation? It's not 30 minutes. It's not 50. It's not an hour. It doesn't take that long. But look at us. We're chill. We're cool. What if business meetings were started this way? Kill. That's what we're going to do all this upcoming week. You just remind me. Every team meeting we have, everybody's going to get grounded like this. And then we're going to go in. You don't feel the stress. You don't have that thing on your heart. You have clarity of vision, what you got to do. What can we do with our company? What can we do? What should we do? What do we want to do? These are great questions to start off any meeting with. Now, where are you now? So based on these different areas that we looked at, based on going to 1, based on going to 4, based on going to 6, where are you? Now, let's take a look at 8. Dun, dun, dun. 8. Okay. So you got 1 through 7, right? And then you have 8. Some people call the soul star. All right. The soul star. Now, the interesting thing about this is that if you look at the halo, sometimes you have a halo right here, right? It's like a little beanie cap somebody got on and just, on the side. Like, how do you keep that on? Especially like the bald-headed people, right? And then you have the halo that's like directly up here that you see over people. Okay, so these are different light centers. These are different chakra points. The one that's behind, that's your 7th, okay? The one that's above, that's your 8th. They have 2 totally different roles, responsibility. Like your arm and your leg, yeah, they don't have the same role, the same responsibility. They have different stuff. But the leg can do the stuff the hand can do. When I'm doing yoga, I can use my foot to turn off the light, okay? But when it comes to running, I ain't running on my hands, my arms. Not yet anyway, but I am working out every day. Keep hope alive. So let's talk about this 8 light center, because 1 through 7 gets a lot of love. All right, sometimes referred to as the soul star or the Starlight Center. The 8th light center is located just beyond the 7th as part of that 12 light center system that we talked about before in some of our other ones. Now we're starting to get a little bit deeper and have exercises into this because it should relate to your everyday life. All right. What are you going through? Like, what's all this light center stuff? How does it help me pay the rent, pay the mortgage, get these children up in here straight? All right. Like, deal with that beef I got with somebody. If spirituality can't be used, what use is it? So this isn't about becoming a spiritual junkie, just getting information. Oh, I'm the smartest spiritual guru in the world. No, it's about learning about your body, learning about your spiritual body, and then using it to have a greater impact. So the 8th is the light center, known for its messages of divine love, spiritual connection, and transcending, right? So when free flowing and in balance, this light center heightens our embodiment of spiritual wisdom. So, you know, some people just get it. They just tapped in Akashic records. This is the light center that's known for tapping into that too. So it's kind of like your 6th light center is your eyes to read, and your 8th is the library to go in. So you can get in, but if you can't see, it ain't going to help you. And if you can see and you're looking at graffiti on the wall, that's different than being in the Library of Congress. So that's how they connect. So as we start breathing and harmonizing, and once we tap into this 8th, we're going to pull them all together. We're going to pull in the 8th. We're going to pull in the 6th. We're going to pull in the 4th. We're going to pull in the 1. You can be like, I'm just shining. Shiny, happy people, hand in hand. I know y'all didn't know I knew that song. I had some white friends too growing up. I did. Still do. I can't remember who sung that song though. Shiny, happy people. I know it was a Green Day or some other group. But that's what's up with this 8th light center. So your soul star light center is said to be the seat of your soul. So even though it's located above your head, it's still considered the seat. So it gets this nickname because it's your direct connection to your higher self. Show me what you're working with. It's your direct connection to your higher self. I probably need to explain that to Michelle in another spiritual Sunday. What's your higher self? Okay. And also its connection to the Akashic records, your karmic past, and your past lives. So all of those things are rolled up in number 8. And if you're struggling and your number 1 is whack, you can't be messing around with number 8. That's like giving a baby control of an atomic bomb. Hey, baby, here's a pretty button. Just go around pushing it. Oh, you just blew up 7 billion people. All right. So you got to earn the right to go to the next level. And that's what we're doing when we're bringing the light, when we're opening up, when we're getting the 6 so you can see clearly, so you have the wisdom to know what happens when we put you in the Akashic records, when you're talking to your higher self, when you're able to see further into the future or the past, because time doesn't exist. You're not even going to understand it until we clearly open up this. So think of this light center as a storage bank for your soul. It's the seat of your soul. The soul star light center carries all the information of your soul's past and present purpose for being here. So people who are like, I just don't understand my purpose. That's because you haven't tapped into that 8th light center yet. You can't teach somebody calculus that hasn't learned multiplication yet. You just can't. So this is us learning and growing. And it only takes you harmonizing and connecting in to these different things. That's it. And the more you do it, the more you're going to feel it. You know, like how you rub your hands together, and then you can feel that little push. And maybe the first time you did it, you're like, oh, I don't feel nothing. And then the more you did it, you're like, whoa, I feel it. It's your aura. It's all around you. So the 8th light center, generally this information about your soul isn't readily available to you in the earthly body. It's not. You have to meditate to tap into that. You have to be in that spiritual zone. It's outside of your field. All the other light centers are inside your body. That's why everybody and their mama talks about it. Because it's easy for them to assess. That's how you know who's the real deal Holyfield. Because you ain't talking up here if you ain't got it down here. It's impossible to talk about this stuff and that one and that one and that one unless you're able to go there. So I got to take you there. If not, it's like just me talking about the promised land. It's over there somewhere. It's like Columbus. I think there's something over. Yeah, sure, right. Right, Chris. Lying. You got to be able to meditate and go up. That's why that breathing, when I take you away and I say relax right here, you're gone. When I say relax right here, you're gone. You had that freedom to go outside yourself. And when you're outside yourself in that space, in that time, that's when you can see everything. When that light beam shooting out and I said, go left or right and expand. And then I started asking you questions and answers and images probably came back to you, right? That's preparing you to be able to tap into the eighth because you're gone, you're out of body. So sometimes people accidentally stumble upon the eighth, all right? Or inadvertently open up your soul star. Like, I didn't mean to do this, but something happens, you have an out of body experience. Like when people die or have a near-death experience or something scares the bejesus out of you, oh God. Like for that second, it's almost like you jumped out of yourself, had an experience, came out like, ooh, that was, how to do over? No? Oh. Okay. So all this information is there. It's right there. It's present within your energetic body, your spiritual body. We got to be able to tap into it. And that, my friends, take practice. So, yeah. So the soul star, just to recap, is outside of your physical body and located in what they call your etheric body. Okay. So you see this picture over here? How it keeps going up. All right. And it's connected to your other light centers too. All of these connected. Your eighth is connected to your first. Your eighth is connected to your fourth. Your eighth is connected to your sixth. They're all connected. And when we really get jiggy, I'm going to tell you what this is. She's like, oh, it's just a box with a bunch of X's. No, that's called Merkaba. That's mad height right here. But we ain't ready for that yet. Right now, the eighth center, we can work with that. So I'm going to give you some more information on it. All right. So the color of this light center is normally up for debate. Some say it's white and golden, while others say it's a specific, there's no specific color to it. When I hear contradictory stuff, then that makes me think everybody's different. So what color is yours? Like when they talk about the root chakra, everybody's like, oh, it's red. But now that you start getting up here, maybe the color is impacted by your vision, like how polluted we are down here. Like my wife loves seeing every doctor, everybody who got a doctor degree in their class, somebody was at the bottom of the class. Ellen's like, that's true. That's true. They don't talk about that. I know I got a degree, but I'm going to tell you straight up, my GPA was struggling. Yeah, magna cum laude, and I graduated. Thank you, Lordy. So maybe the color of this is based on the color of these, how clear, how grounded we are. Because I live with a family of smart people. I mean, it's a battle. Like I just got funny. These peeps are straight up like smart. So they know that when I was like, why is the sky blue? It's like, really? That's just the way you see it because of your eyes. But animals look up at the sky and they see something else. Now, who's supposed to know that? See, it's unfair in the Harris household. It's just unfair. Too smart people. I bet you the damn dog's smart too. Just can't talk. So if the sky looks different, right? Maybe the 8th light center looks different based on your spiritual eye you're looking at. If it's a little foggy, if it's a little unclear, okay? If there's doubt. So something to think about. So I suggest connecting to the 8th light center and deciding for yourself what color yours is. And that's some of the things we can talk about in our group discussion too, right? What colors did you see? And by the way, as we go through these, because we're doing this, Matt, you want to know, I don't know why Spirit brought me here. This probably is why. Have a notebook, have things you can jot down, because you had an experience around that 4th heart center that you now forgot until I just said that. And when we get to share, we want it like crickets. So how was it? I remember the first thing you did and the last, but what had happened was, so feel free to write it down and take notes as you're going through on your experience, because when you hear about others' experience, it expands your knowledge and capability of what's possible. And when you hear this, that's what I love about sharing. Somebody may not be baby Buddha, but they had an experience. You're like, wow, I didn't know that you could smell a rainbow. I didn't know that you can speak and have it echo through the past and the present at the same time and actually see that. I didn't know that you, just by looking at something, that there's a beam of love that can be shot out. I didn't know that the chakras can start spinning around each other like this and having like a private conversation and then boom, being shot out. You don't know that until you start listening to other people. And until I care as much about Amy's meditation as I do about mine, I ain't nothing. Ain't nobody. Ain't nobody. We have to be concerned about them too, because we're all one. Just like these chakras are all connected, so are we. We're all connected. So that means Amy being at her best raised me up too. My spiritual guru was a gentleman named John White. He passed away this year. He had COVID. Okay. And one of the things that John taught me was that you have spiritual families. And when one person in your spiritual family rises up, does better, the whole family does better. When one person is able to turn on their light and make it shine brighter. You know, back in the day, you had an old school grandma like, I'm just going to pray for my babies. Lord, you got to work it out. Just pray for my babies. She's really shining light. So sometimes you going to the person and trying to help them isn't as beneficial as you working on your damn self and shining your light bright. You get your light to where it goes. And then when your light gets to where it goes, then their spiritual eye starts to open. And when their spiritual eye starts to open, then the wisdom of consistency, the wisdom of effectiveness, the wisdom of being in it to win it, that opens up for these people. When you're over here like, please, come on, let me help you, let me help you. That's why they say, work on you first. But intuitively, we don't get it. Plane crashing, oh, let me hurry up and get the seatbelt on. Get your seatbelt, put your oxygen mask on. Make your light shine brighter. It's not selfish. What's selfish is when we go the other way. Because it's instant gratification instead of having the wisdom, the insight to work on ourselves. And come on, let's keep it real. It's always easier to point at somebody else and be part of the Tater family. Spectator, dictator, imitator. So, the soul light center, seat of your soul. And in most people is located probably about 6 inches above the crown of your head. 6 to 8 inches. Well, I guess 6 to 12 inches above. And especially in people who have an unusually strong aura, it can be up as high as 24 inches. All right. So most people, you're looking at 6. Remember that halo I told you about? Okay. With those people in there, probably were really spiritually strong, but the artist didn't have enough room to put the halo like up here. And if you see it down here, like, oh, it's just a baby saint, as opposed to it being a little bit higher. So what we're going to do is we're going to feel that. Just like how we breathe in and out, we're going to feel that. I'm going to give you guys some more information on it because I'm spending more time on this 8th one. But when we bring it back together in the breathing, all right, oh my God, it's going to be such a beautiful experience. It's like grace raining down on you, like divine grace raining down, that 8 light center is like a black hole. Because that's what happens when you meditate. You create a black hole. When you have a particular place where you're meditating in your house over and over again, my puja room is on the other side of here. That is just, you step in there and you feel totally different because it's that combined energy of meditating and creating a black hole. Guess what? You keep whipping somebody's ass in the same spot, you're gonna create a black hole too, a negativity. You know, walk like, oh, it's just so negative up in this house. Over again and again, somebody's getting cussed out in the same place. That energetic circle around again and again and again, the beating up of somebody's chakras. That's what I need. I need a t-shirt that says, stop beating down my chakras. But that's what happens. That's what happens. If you create this black hole, when you're meditating, that's how you can astral travel. That's how you go to different places. You're tapping into your soul star. And that soul star then becomes bigger, encompassing, so that you can have groups of people that astral travel together. And that's really crazy. So why? Why is the soul star light center and other higher light centers so important? You know, I don't like just collecting spiritual information. Why? Why is it important? How does it affect our day, our week, our year, our life purpose? The soul star light center, this 8th one, is associated with the first point of enlightenment, ascension. First point. It is also the point at which divine love can first enter the body and be distributed throughout all the light centers. So just imagine you have in a 40 watt and you unscrew that sucker and you put in a 60 and you unscrew that sucker and you put in 100. How much brighter does that room go? Still a light bulb. It's still there. But for some reason, that dude's heart is having a bigger effect on me on that lady's heart. For some reason, the insight, the wisdom that's coming through just one person, even though they're saying the same thing, I just like this person better. Why? You can't even put words to it. I can. It's because that other person is tapped into a light center, so when they speak, it's able to get through your mess and help you pass all the tests. That's why this stuff is important. When people ask, well, why? Well, how are you able to have that type of impact? Well, that's why. When people want to know, why is Michelle, like Michelle's told me this, and 20 people told me that before, but it wasn't because she just said, she's just special. But this is what makes her special. We got a group and we keep each other on point. Michelle, I'm about to do that 4-hour meditation. Michelle, I'm about to do this. She sent me back. Oh, I just got this new one. I'm about to do that. You feel like spiritually guilty. Man, I need to get my spiritual ass out of bed and just meditate. You love me. That's the type of peeps you need in your life. People that are going to motivate you for good. People that are excited and talking about their experiences and what they're doing, and it gets you riled up. Because this one, yeah, this is the big one. Okay, so this is the first point. Like, remember when I said it was divine grace, like rain on, it feels great. Like today, I was outside doing a walking meditation, and it was like mist. It's raining, but you know, like a sprinkle. I don't even know if that's an official word for it. This is something my mom used to always say. It's sprinkling outside. People in India like, what's a sprinkle? You better cut that off. Is that a sprinkler? No. A sprinkle. It's like a little mist. So as I'm meditating, it literally feels like, you know, just something dropping down on me. That's what it feels like when you tap into this 8 light center, and it's like stuff starts coming in through that particular portal. And it adds power to all the other light centers. So we probably should call out that the higher light centers, the ones that are above the 8, because we're going to go over those too. All right. The ones above the 8, right? They exist at higher energy frequencies than the 7 main body light centers. I'll say that again. They exist at higher energy frequencies. So that's why they're not in here either. It's like almost like another dimension. That's how big you are. You're in multiple dimensions and you don't know it. It's like if you have your foot at the beach in the water. Your body's in the water, right? Maybe in the sand, in the water, and then above the water, you got so much more of you because the water is only coming up to your ankles or right below your knees. But that's what it's like when you look at your spiritual body. It's like standing on, I never said that before. It's like standing at Myrtle Beach, you're in the water, and you got your feet in the beach, right? In the water, in the ocean, but it's in the sand. If you're just looking at your toes, well, then that means the existence is just in the sand and the water. And then you go up a little higher and it's just water, right? But then when you can get outside of the waters, you go up above your knees, like, wow, it's the whole universe. There's so much you can do. Your foot can't breathe, except for some of our meditations. Breathe into your foot. But it's so much more. So us raising our vibrations, us tapping into it, looking at this 8 light center, seeing that all the ones above it really are vibrating at a different frequency. That's what it's all about. Much higher than the 7 main body light centers. The root, the sacral, the solar, the center, the throat. They're all the ones we just went through. It's at a much, much higher level. And the most basic level, you can receive 2 immediate benefits, all right? When you successfully access the white ray energy of your soul star light center. Because I said I was going to tell you why, right? Why should this be important? 2 basic benefits that you can tap into. We have a meditation on YouTube called White Light Meditation. That sucker is powerful. It's powerful. You also can have black light. It's the reason why I'm wearing a shirt today. When you close your eyes, it's all blackness. It's the void. You're everything. And it's all around you. So your ability to tap into that, that's what this 8 is all about. It's opening you up, just like where the water stops on that beach. And you have the rest of you. It's opening you up to just a vast void. Okay. But first, activating your soul star light center, that's going to help keep your crown light center open at all times. But all times. Okay. And while your root light center keeps you connected to the earth, Your crown light center keeps you connected to the entire universe. So you want to talk about somebody busting out business meetings. You want to talk about somebody having the bomb diggity sales calls or fantastic conversations with every single person you talk to. Somebody call me up, you know you're going to have a meaningful moment in your life. We're going to laugh our butts off. We're going to talk about your dreams, your goals. You're going to ask me stuff that I have never answered before, but it's just going to come out because I'm tapped in. And if we have a whole group of people who are tapping in, that's how we change the world. Not just tapped in on Spiritual Sunday all the time. Like there's a superhero, I think it's the Torch. He used to say, flame on. And he'd be like, oh, she'd be all fire. If you smoke, you can like light a cigarette off of him. Then he'd say, flame off. Okay. But when you tap into this 8, it's flame on all the time. And whatever people need from you, they get. That's why we love rainbows, by the way. Nobody's like, oh, damn it, I saw a rainbow yesterday. Rainbows are so awesome to us that when you see it, there's this instinct that we got to tell somebody, hey, look. Like, how can something be so good, all right, for you, that when you see it, you have to tell somebody else. Look. Even better than cake. You'd be like, maybe you may say, this is good. I wish I had enough for you. But the rainbow, what happens is whatever color your light centers need, the root, the sacral, the heart, the throat, whichever one it needs, blue, green, yellow, red, you pull it from the rainbow. You don't have to think. It's like you go to the doctor, like I'm turning 50 in 3 weeks. 3 weeks, I'll be 50. You go to the doctor does an assessment. It's like, all right, your blood pressure's up or your cholesterol's up. If he didn't tell me, I wouldn't know. Like there's certain things you got to just pass out and like be borderline dead. Like, oh, I guess my cholesterol was high. What's that bright light? But when it comes to the spiritual stuff, you don't have to think. You don't have to test. It just naturally reaches out and gets and pulls and does what's needed. That rainbow, whoosh, it just pulls. You need a little bit more blue than red. Okay, automatically. You don't have to say, this mantra, give me more red. You don't have to. I mean, you can, but it just does it on its own. So the second part is if you successfully activate and balance your soul starlight center, this will automatically restore and rebalance all 7 main body light centers. 8 is its own rainbow. That's what I'm trying to tell you. 8 is its own rainbow. So with an activated and well-balanced soul star light center, aka halo, depending on the cultures, right? You can go through life with more peace of mind and feeling more content, more connected. People are like, I'm just not getting what I want out of life. When you haven't got that much light in your life. That's what we need to do in tapping into this. So it's tough. It's tough to get people out of depression when this hasn't been turned on. It's tough. It's like trying to give somebody instructions in a pitch black dark room. First, they need to have on, what do you call it? Those goggles, those glasses that you can see in the dark. And then once you get them there, then you got to actually turn the light on. Then they can take that off and then, oh, wow, this is even much better. Then you can tell them specifically what to do. I was at my wife had a family reunion with her grandfather's side of the family. And this one guy, I'm still trying to figure it out. Maybe one of you will know. But he had an uncle that was in a mental institution. And they had painted this room. The door was the same color as the walls. So if they didn't want them to go through that door, they painted it that color, they were unable to see. I was like, okay, I can understand having mental challenges, but how does that affect visually? Right? I guess because the eyes just see what they want to see. Like, even though the door is right there, right? The door is right there. Anybody else looking for it can find it. But if you're not looking for it, you're not going to find it. So if you don't know about these 8 light centers, then you're not even going to look for it. If you don't know the benefits of how it can help you, you're not going to look for it. And if the people in your life, if they're not on this spiritual path, then you can't say, well, you know what? My diagnosis is your 8th light center is just jacked up. They'll be like, what? So sometimes you got to work on your own light center and get that shining and bright. And then you get surprised in those moments when you're like, wow, I can't believe they were open to hearing that. Or this conversation went deep. That's normally they're not that way, because normally you're not that way. We all have to shine bright. Everybody, me, you, everybody. Because even though we know these 7 chakras, that's nothing. That's like, oh, I can run 1 mile. Well, you can work out and run 5. You can work out and do a marathon. So moving on to the more advanced benefits of the Soul Starlight Center and the other higher light centers. Activating your Soul Starlight Center can expand your mind, take you to a whole new dimension you may have never experienced before. Even imagine if you learn how to awaken and energize and fine-tune this high energetic frequency within your higher light centers, then they can serve as conduits to the higher realms of transcendental knowledge and experience. If you become, very advanced at interacting with your Soul Starlight Center, your conscious mind will become aware and integrated with your soul. Your conscious mind will become aware and integrated with your soul. Michelle and I worked with this meditation where you focus on your heart, and then you focus on your mind, and then you focus on your heart being in your mind, and your mind being one with your heart. And then when you do that, like when you're able to do that, you're going to be able to get so much more done and accomplished, see so much more. Even the understanding of time not being a concept. I didn't understand that 5-6 years ago. What do you mean time doesn't exist? And there's a place where time doesn't exist. What do you mean somebody can put themselves in their own hell forever? Which is just blackness and nothing. And they're there until they learn to forgive themselves. Where they dare, they experience all the pain that they inflicted in somebody. That I was mad at Helen and said, rah, because I was like, rah to Helen. She was like, rah to Amy. Because I was like, rah to Amy. Amy was like, rah to Kill in this cycle. So I'm in this spot where I just feeling and singing and going around and around, just experiencing other people's light centers again and again and again. And that's the hell until I learn to forgive myself. And then there's an existence where you feel the joy that I show love to Helen, and Helen shows love to Amy, and Amy shows love to Kill, and Kill shows love to Rosie. And that cycle just flows through, and I experience that. And that's the heaven. And transcends into this 8th light center. Where this divine, what you put out comes back. How? How? This is how. Why? This is why. That 8, that 1, that divine, that grace coming through is because the light shooting up, boom. The love shooting up, boom. Going in there, and that's exactly what comes back. Just like a radio frequency. I want 95.5. Boom, I turn there. I want to get a particular type of music. I want 92.1. Boom, I turn there. I'm going to get a particular type of music that's going to come back on that frequency. And even as I drive through other states on that same thing, what happens? Another 92.1 taps in. It's the beauty of the light centers. And that's the beauty of when you meditate and we all come together and we're meditating, that I'm able to tap in to my shells or Matt's or Jen's or Renee's light centers. It's just like 92.7. You're in your car and you're driving from Gaithersburg, Maryland to Richmond. That's another different one. That's another person. And then you're driving to North Carolina, Raleigh. That's a different 92.1. That's a different person. There's nothing in the physical world that isn't mirrored in some way in the spiritual world. The internet, yeah. People have been tapping into the spiritual internet for a long time. Kasha Records, straight up spiritual Google. But the 8th light center gets you there, okay? So linear time will become circular in this 8th. Linear time becomes circular. It's a higher state that most people never even reach. So that's what's up. That's what's up. So let's talk about opening. Opening the 8th light center. Before opening the 8th light center, it's recommended to balance and engage each of the light centers beneath it. Okay, so let's do it. So sit in your seat. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, clearing things out. This time, same thing. Inhale through your nose. Inhale light and love. And when you exhale, shoot it out through every pore in your body. Now, inhale and exhale normally. And as you inhale and exhale, I want you to focus on the energy of love. Focus on love. Now, I want you to start to allow your mind to focus on your first light center. And as you breathe, inhale through that light center and exhale. Now, that light begins to radiate from there, and it radiates up. See the ripple of light. Set the intention that the light goes up if you don't see it, if you don't feel it in the darkness, in the blackness. And ride one of those waves to your second light center, just above it. And wherever intuitively you feel that is, let the light come in and out of there. The same thing, you see ripples. Ripples that go back to the first one. Harmonize the two lights from 1 and for 2. Now go higher to 3. Don't overthink it. Wherever intuitively. Just breathe. You activated 1, 2, and 3. They may move in a certain way. Let it. But focus on all 3. Now, bring in 4. Invite 4 to the party. Ooh. Just relax into it, no stress. Just enjoy and feel this time just on you. You and your light centers. Now, 5 in your throat area. lower neck, right underneath your chin. Bring in 5 and 4. Connected to 3 and 2 and 1. Harmonize. Harmonize the light. Now, spiritually reach up to 6. Connect 6. Feel the intertwining of light. The mixture as all 6 light centers combined, equivalent to 1 light center. We are one. It's an illusion that all these lights aren't connected together. And within the sound of that, there's an illusion that all these lights aren't connected together. You feel your forehead almost expand open, wider in vision. And the light from 1 through 6 activates 7. And with the activation of 7, you feel acceptance, you feel joy, you feel purpose. Feel it. Allow it to spread. And with your awareness, become aware that it's all around you. Joy, acceptance, peace. Now with this, spiritually reach up to your 8th light center. Use the momentum of 1 through 7 to stand up, to reach up, to stretch up, to reach out, and become aware of 8 and feel it. Feel it like a slight pressure in a circle. Square, rectangle. What shape is yours? Without moving your arms, reach up with your spiritual arms and see if you can grab it. In your mind's eye, what color is it? If you can't see it, then the first thought that comes to your mind is the color. What color is yours? This 8 light center. Honor it. Recognize it. This black hole, this portal, the seat of your soul, the gateway to your higher self, the doorway to the Akashic records.
Breathe into it. As you breathe into it, feel your essence, your spirit being sucked into it. Breathe into it. Allow it to pull you in with the divine gravity of oneness. Feel the power as you become one in the void. Now, from within your 8th light center, from within the void, feel your connectedness to all, like a thick feeling, a thickness you can almost taste, but no separation and oneness in the billions and trillions and in the one. And from this place, be aware that you are just a thought. And that thought begins to shine brightly as it blends into the brightness in the darkness of the void. Reach out. And from where you are, set the intention for all that you are to begin to descend back into the gateway, to the 8th light center. All the divinity, all the love, all the light begins to descend. And as your consciousness descends out of the 8th gateway, it rains down a mist onto the 7th. And that mist causes your 7th light center to shine brighter. And it begins to sprinkle down to your 6th. And your 6th light center shines brighter, still connected to the 8th, still connected to the 7th. You are one. As you shine brightly, as you see further, know further, and you let that light continue to come down from the 6th to the 5th. And you feel the sweetness in your throat as your light chakra begins to shine, and that blueness, that cold blue, rains down the mist to your heart. That's internal and eternal. The blue blends into the green, still connected at the 6th, at the 7th, at the 8th. A oneness. Feel it all from your 4th, your heart, to your 6th, to your 8th. Harmonize. Breathe. Let it be. And from the 4th, see the light seep in to the 3rd, and the 2nd, and the 1st. This one comprehensive, all-encompassing light. 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 And allow this light and love to continue to go down to the core of Mother Earth. As you continue to get bigger, as the awareness of oneness connects. Now lock it. Lock it in as you find the completeness of 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Feel the completeness and lock in that awareness like a clip. Sit in it. From that point of oneness, you allow your mind and awareness to expand to the oneness of this group and all those locked in to the same awareness. And be aware that you're aware of your greatness, of our greatness. We are one. Now, from this point of awareness, recognize that you do not want this to end. And at the same time, recognize that you have the power to be here anytime and all the time, connected as one. And staying connected as you have this clamped in, this oneness, this feeling. Open your eyes and stay connected as one. Keep it. Feel the connection. Don't allow yourself to think that was a meditation. Stay connected as one. Feel it. Now, what is it that you want? What is it that you can do? Who is it that you should help? You have the answer. You're still connected. Open your eyes. You can't walk through life with your eyes closed. Stay connected. You are connected. Feel it. You're connected. This is what it feels like. This is what it feels like to be connected all the time. The joy, the peace, the clear vision, the lack of stress. And you have a choice on whether or not you want to stay in the zone or not. It's always been your choice. Still is. That's the beauty of being human. Spiritual and divine, as well as physical in here. Some things that you do will require you to be completely physical in here. This might not be the best zone for driving. Unless your driving sucks, then maybe it can't get worse. But in 80% of the things that we do, this zone is the zone to be in. This zone is the zone of no war. The zone is the zone of not going off on people. This zone is the zone of no fear. The manifestation of your thoughts for it to happen instantly. So that's the lesson for today. Michelle, what do you think?
Yeah, that was beautiful. That's amazing. I like that. I'm gonna try to tune in. I'm gonna try to hold it all day and try to just keep it all day, no matter who I'm talking to or who I'm with, and I'm gonna try to reconnect to it all day.
But you can feel it now, right? You can still
Stay in
feel
the
it.
zone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm still in it. Yeah. Yeah. That would be amazing to just be able to tap in. And I think probably the more you practice, the easier it is to tap into that feeling. And then you can just tap in anytime, like you say, right before a business meeting, right before a conversation with someone, right before anything you do, especially when you're just around your house, just doing whatever you're doing, just tap into that beautiful feeling. And then of course you can hear your intuition more. You can love others more. You can help others more. It'll help every area of life. No doubt about it.
You can learn more too. Like even with you talking now, it's like hearing and learning at multiple levels at the same time. Totally different spot. So I want to open it up too to anybody that has comments or want to share about your experiences, or if you have questions down the time. Amy, what you got? Saul, Christina, Helen, Matt, Akil. Matt stepped away. Jen, Renee, Rozzy. Anybody feeling anything?
I'll say something.
Okay.
When you started with the second chakra, it all felt very good. And when you got to the eighth, I have this clear image of a mother cradling a baby and just started kissing the baby. It's just a beautiful sight.
Wow.
And later on, when you were talking about combining the energy, the eighth energy with the seven energies, you know how there is some material that you use when you want to, if you have an area where it's not clean or something, you want to protect yourself from that area, you put in some kind of mat to sort of shield yourself from all the yuckiness, and then you have a clean area to work on. So that material, I felt like I was wrapped in it. I was wrapped in that whole material where everything is safe and good and protected from all the yuckiness from outside world.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it was a wonderful experience. Thank you.
You're welcome. And depending on, I saw will be the only one that really knows it. It could be the mother and child as representative of the higher self saying, yay, you're here, I love you. It could be Mother Earth cradling us. When you get into the oneness, it's like echoes, like spiritual echoes that come to people in terms of impressions or actually seeing it or just feeling what can only be described as being seen, but it's so intense that the feeling draws a picture. Awesome. Anybody else?
I just want to say that kiss.
Yeah.
When I saw that kiss, it just felt like unconditional love. It was just, it's so powerful. It was very, very strong, powerful, unconditional love. So yeah, just want to add that.
Thank you. Glad you did. Okay, so I am going to read off what Rozzy said, and then same time, if anybody has anything they want to say, feel free to jump in. And even as I'm about to read it, I feel myself coming out of the void, getting around it. So I'm like playing with it, like reading it and not losing it. And somebody else may want to play around with that too, yourself. But now I got it. I can read it and stay in it. I felt my mind level on the 8th, moving around towards the left. I visualized a blue color at that level. I felt peace and love. That's cool, Rosie. And that that love, that blue that you feel, you can bring it into every moment of your day, any situation. Okay. And Matt, thanks for the meditation. This was a good group, and I will be back. I have to go. My son needs me. I think that was kind of cool. His son was participating in the beginning of it too. That was awesome. Okay. So we're going to bring our meditation group to an end today. Thank you all for participating. I love you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. And we see you next Sunday when we're going to talk about something else dope. Bye, everybody.